Parliament Funkadelic, a prog band? Yes, a prog band, a progressive funk band. One of the many branches of the progressive tree, or one of the many branches of the funk tree, you tell me. But I would definitely say that Parliament Funkadelic is a contender for the progressive world to take heed. Take an epic like Funkadelic. It's a long song. Just because it's long doesn't mean it's prog, but it's got a certain kind of structure to it. I'd say it has more of a trance effect than most prog music, but it's so inventive and creative, and just, you know, other songs maybe are featuring Bernie Worrell more. Bernie Worrell is a huge part of the progressive element of Parliament Funkadelic, and he played mostly with Parliament, and he was classically trained. He went to Juilliard. He was a child prodigy, and he contributed some of the most iconic, you know, keyboard parts of all of the world of funk, really. He actually was really into Emerson, Lake and Palmer, really liked Keith Emerson's playing. And he was really one of the early adopters, I believe, of the mini Moog, playing some of the most, you know, memorable keyboard parts in any music, really, like the bass for Flashlight, which was probably the first time you really had a keyboard player taking over a bass part, and that was a little controversial. I think bass players were losing jobs after that. And you have like songs like Electric Spanking of War Babies, Electro Cuties on Electric Spanking of War Babies Funkadelic album from, what was it? I'm not sure, later in the 70s, a bit later. The earlier stuff is so far out, so they were already progressive from the beginning, but very acid-fueled and very psychedelic. So maybe along the lines a little bit of like a freaked out early Pink Floyd, Syd Barrett era, or some in their more disorganized state after Syd Barrett. And also very reminiscent of Frank Zappa at times, and I believe he was a fan. I'm sure George Clinton was a fan of Frank Zappa, and the two are influenced by one another. I don't know all the details on that, but it's pretty obvious if you're a listener of both of those artists. And what is progressive about it? I mean, what is prog? What is progressive? Yes, there's like this influence of classical music, but there's also the willingness to, I think, have a more maybe lengthy and complex composition that may or may not involve improvisation. And in the case of P-Funk, it definitely did. I went to see P-Funk at least 30 times over, you know, the last many years, however many, and later in their times, you know, and George Clinton has been getting older and everything, there are times where they just go through their hits and they don't improvise that much, but that's not their trademark, and most of the shows that I went to, I think, involved a lot of improvisation, and that was really the highlight. They would take you into a space where it's like a trance would begin to develop at a certain point, and you could just feel the way the crowd was all gelling together, and you, at a certain point, you couldn't really control your butt, and it would just move, and that would set the standard for the rest of the show. And it was just exciting because you didn't know which song was coming next. They didn't really stop between songs very much, and there was a lot of exploration and taking different sections of the band and giving them their time, like the horn section, or giving the guitarist time to really, you know, get out there. That's more with the Funkadelic side of things. So yeah, anyway, they're an incredible band, and if you haven't really dug into Parliament Funkadelic, you are missing out. So it's time to get a little bit deeper. Don't just listen to Flashlight. Yeah, it's a great song, but come on. If you don't know Funkadelic, I don't know what to say. So anyway, yeah.